Good evening. This is the Parks, Library, and Arts Committee meeting for Tuesday, September the 7th. Detecting a quorum, we will begin. First up is Resolution 2021-1089. Accepts a grant from the Metro Historic Commission Foundation to the Metro Historic Commission to assist with a portion of the costs associated with the site's master plan for Fort Negley Park. We have the letter to approve by Mr. Sledge. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Probably second. Is there any discussion about this? Any questions at all for anyone? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Seeing none against. Moving on to Resolution 2021-1124. Appropriates $30,000 through a grant contract between the Metro Nashville Public Library and the Oasis Center to provide services that help youth grow, thrive, and create positive change in their lives and our community. Do I have a motion? Probably seconded. Is there any question or discussion about this grant?
Is this a new program or is this continuing of a current
It's
program?
continuing. It's probably 8 years old. I've been in it with the last 6 on it, with the submitting it. But it's the person that coordinates the Mayor's Youth Council meetings, notes, trainings with the Mayor's Office of Education, and that's what the Oasis person does. And they work with the youth in all of the high schools.
Okay.
To help them to learn, stuff about the meetings and team building and let's see, youth development and training, those kind of things.
So this draws from all parts of the city, not in particular city?
All the high schools, and they have them listed, but it's every one of them. I double checked it, and they recruit students through the school contacts, Opportunity Now, Oasis Center, social media, peer-to-peer outreach
Okay,
to
thank you.
participate.
Fantastic. Any other questions? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Seeing none against, we will move on. Resolution 2021-1129 accepts an in-kind grant from the Josie Davis Foundation and the Friends of Millridge Park to the Metro Board of Parks and Recreation to create a master plan for the Moore Farm at Millridge Park. Do I have a motion?
So,
Wait a second, any questions about this one? No? Any information we should be aware of on this? Okay.
grateful for it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Seeing none against? Hello, Mr. Larry. Okay. Resolution 2021-1130 accepts a grant from the Friends of Millridge Park to the Metro Board of Parks and Recreation for the construction of a primitive trailhead at Millridge Park. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions about the primitive trailhead? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Hello. Okay. Resolution, here you go. Wait, is this one? Oh, that's the big one. Here's this one. Sure. We're on page 2. Resolution RS 2021-1131 approves Amendment 1 to an in-kind grant from the Historic Capital Corridor Foundation, HCCF, to the Metro Nashville Parks and Recreation Department for the purpose of providing continued programming and maintenance of and staffing for Church Street Park. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion about
Talking
this?
about the one up there on Church Street? Okay, what are we talking about, staff and police or what?
Yeah, I was wondering what the staffing was.
The Parks can address that question. An in-kind grant,
Well, the,
continued programming and
Yeah.
maintenance and staffing
it's
for
not
church.
any parks employees. It's being staffed by the Capital Corridor Foundation is doing all the programming and staffing, so it's however their plans are.
They don't
So
have
is this
nothing to do.
programs in the park or?
It's programming in the park. They're designing the programming for the park.
You talking about the park up there on Church Street across from the library?
Yes.
Okay, what kind of programming is it?
It's up to them. It's just the in-kind grant.
Okay,
It's
so
for the historical, they're doing all of it. We have no input on it.
okay, we don't have to pay anything into it, or we match it? Okay, that's fine, thank you.
So, the Historic Capital Corridor Foundation wants to help us activate, the park and is willing to do so as an in-kind donation. Okay. Does that help?
Yeah.
Yep.
Any other?
This is the amendment they're currently doing. This is to extend the program. They're currently doing it, but this is extending it to, I forget. I think to June 2022.
And, there's, performance indicators that they give to the Parks Board to say, this is what we're trying to do, and then we've achieved it, and so the Parks Board is satisfied with that and is willing to continue the, contract, and that's why.
They're working with, Jim Hester with the programming
Okay.
guidelines.
That makes me full. Good. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 7 people. Okay. On page 3, we are at 2021-1132. Accepts an in-kind grant from the Nashville chapter of the Tennessee Ornithological Society to the Metro Board of Parks and Recreation for the installation of bird crash deterrent window film at the Shelby Bottoms Nature Center.
So moved.
Second that. That sounds like
I've seen two birds hit
sounds
that
like
big
a
window.
problem that needs a solution.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Any other questions about this? It seems like a good thing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That's 7. Seeing none against, we'll move forward to resolution 2021-1133. Accepts an in-kind grant from the Tennessee Tennis Association to the Metro Nashville Parks and Recreation Department to help Centennial Sportsplex maintain its facilities. You have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I second it. Was there a financial amount tied to this as to how much they're granting?
It's $10,000, and it's basically COVID supplies. COVID supplies, power washer, tennis balls, and other equipment.
Okay. I can't speak more highly to all, we hear all these accepts a grant, in-kind donations. I mean, it's our city stepping up to really fill some holes. We should talk more about it. Are there any questions about this in particular?
I'm fine with that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
7 affairs, 0 against. Moving on to resolution 2021-1134. Accepts a grant from the Centennial Park Conservancy to the Metro Nashville Parks and Recreation Department for the construction of the Children's Memory Garden in Centennial Park. Do I have a motion? Any discussion about this?
Is this something new or what
There's
is?
been a garden there for a while, but
Yeah, there's an existing memorial west of the Parthenon, north of the playground, that's been there. It's kind of an ad hoc volunteer effort since the 1990s. At times in the past, it's been called the Children's Victims of Violence Memorial. And it's a consortium of different services groups, including the DA's office, the police department, mayor's offices since Mayor Bredesen, and other people who are providing services to the families of these victims. So that's the group that spearheaded it and manages it. So with this, they are replacing the existing memorial with this new sort of larger scale, really beautiful memorial.
And I have to express ignorance, I didn't know it even was there. So when we say it's a memorial garden, these are children who have victims of violence, is this like an honorary? So is this like a peaceful place that you go with like trails and flowers, or
It
what
is,
is, or is there statues, or what is it?
Here are some presentation materials on it. You're all welcome to look at that. So it is a memorial to children who have died of violence in Davidson County or otherwise have some association with Nashville. And so it is intended to be a place of memory and contemplation.
Okay.
And then there are a few events every year where they, for example, have the sort of horrible task of identifying the names of this year's people who will be memorialized, each year's people who will be memorialized.
Are there names that are posted that are added annually, or
The
this just
old
the same?
memorial has existing engraved stone plaques that are in the ground. And those plaques will be cleaned up and installed in a kind of tower lighthouse. It's called a lighthouse, but a vertical structure that you can see in the garden. But going forward, the plan is not to add new names every year because you can't, in perpetuity add new names to the monument. So they're changing the way in which they honor them. Most of that will be online now, but those names that are there will be incorporated into the new one.
Thank you.
Thank you. I like that.
You should, and you said the 90s. I mean, I moved here in '86. I remember it being there for a while. When did it first? It would have been early '90s.
It would have been during Bredeson's administration.
Okay. All those in favor of accepting this grant?
Aye.
Guess what, y'all? That's everything that's on this piece of paper. Any other business or any other parks, arts, any?
Yeah, I want to invite everybody to the Bellevue Park this Saturday, better known as the Red Caboose Park.
Yeah.
Music starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. The program starts at 11:30. There's going to be music. There's an original play that has been written. There is an art contest with elementary, middle, high school, and adults. And there will be prizes given out. There is honorary for all of the first responders. We'll be receiving awards, and we'll have a First Responder of the Year award. The money that is raised from our food tent all goes to scholarships to children of first responders. And we're having a diaper drive to take diapers to Waverly, and if you donate a bag of diapers, you get a free hardcover nice cookbook. We have 1,000 of them to give away. So we hope to get lots of diapers. So music starts at 10, program starts at 11:30. Original play is at 1, everything ends by 2. So head out to Bellevue Park.
It's fantastic. And point of notice that the community feedback for the park at Madison Station Boulevard is still underway with the Civic Design Center. And there's a way to participate both online as well as they're going to do some things at the Madison Library with parents, with children's feedback. And so that's all coming up in the next couple weeks. So the best way to find out about that is to go to the Civic Design Center website. And that's what I've got. Anybody else?
Thank you.
All right, this meeting's adjourned.
Hey, are you on about